hope you're all amazing, and if you are not, I hope my video puts a smile on your beautiful faces and makes you laugh. This week's video is coming out probably about a day early because Sunday I just want to binge a whole heap of anime. That is my plan. But for this week's video, like last week, I talked about 5 smutty manga that makes my soul happy. We're going down the manga track again, and I have a feeling for probably the next few videos, going to be talking about a lot about manga, because you know me, my videos are so sporadic and random. And for this one, I gotta get a lot of pent up feels about a particular title I just started. It's a shoujo. You all know I love my shoujo, and this one I had heard about for ages and ages now, and I honestly just gave in to finally start reading it, and I've only read the first 3 volumes, and oh yeah, it is epic sweetness overload. And that is Honey So Sweet. I borrowed this from my local library, and I'm sure some people have heard of this manga by now, and it is by Amu Miguro, and I believe this is her debut series as an author. I have to say, hands down right now, this series is the most sweetest manga I have ever read. I'm not talking just your regular sweetness. Oh my goodness, it's so sweet and cute. No, we're talking overloadness of sugary sweet. Best way to describe this series, how I perceive it. So one of the things I used to love getting when I was a kid was one of those big ass rainbow lollipops. You know, one of the ones I'm talking about. I'll insert a picture here somewhere. And those kind of ones, you know, you can never finish. They're so good. But the problem is, it's not really about the size of them just. It's about how epically sweet they are. And that is how I would describe this series. You're chomping on that rainbow gigantic lollipop and you know you're never going to finish because it's so bloody sweet. And that is exactly what Honey So Sweet is. And the story of Honey So Sweet. This story is about our main couple, Nao and Tiger, and how it starts off for the pair. Nao is just your, well, average high schooler, pretty much goody two-shoes, very introvert, and so is Tiger. And Tiger comes up to her randomly one day and says, "Will you start dating me with marriage in mind?" And that kind of catches her off guard. Nao is completely conflicted over him because he's known as the, you know, school delinquent, but really he is misunderstood. And of how Tiger ends up coming to ask Nao to date him, she one day sees him in the rain. It looks like he's been in a gang fight, I think, or he was in a fight. And she leaves him an umbrella and some bandages and band-aids and then runs off. That's when he's really touched by her kindness, because no one has ever shown him that kind of kindness. And that's when, you know, he goes and asks her out, and then from this point start to, you know, sort out their feelings, eventually date, and yeah, that's really the basis of the plot. And this is a 8-volume series. I'll tell you right now, when I first even started reading this series into volume 1, immediately by page 3, we'd already gotten to the plot point of Tiger was already asking Nao out. And I'm just like, whoa, okay. This is just gone straight in there. You know, Nao wasn't going to say yes, ultimately. Of course, you know, she's like, this weird boy has just randomly asked me out with marriage in mind. First 3 volumes, it's really focusing on Nao sorting out her feelings, because there's a little bit in there that goes on. Nao and Tiger are just such a introvert, awkward pair, and it's that awkwardness is what pulls you in. Tiger is a very misunderstood individual. Even though he's a delinquent, as he's pictured as, he's not really. He would do anything for Nao, and I love this aspect about his character because the assumptions that are made about him, for example, he goes and beats up some guys and people think, oh my god, such a ruffian, but really he did that because they were picking on a turtle, and then underneath he's like an animal lover. I'm like, that is such an appealing trait. It definitely is for me. Taiga is such a darling. He definitely reminds me of Sawako from Kimi no Todaki, with being completely misunderstood, as Sawako is misunderstood because she always has a scary expression on her face. People think that she can see ghosts, and that's why people won't approach her. And I just find that Taiga and Sawako, I find they're one in the same on the aspect of being misjudged. Something that was really touching so far in Nao and Taiga's relationship is from the perspective of Nao. You know, she's never experienced first love, and it's quite sad, her backstory of she lost her parents when she was really young, and she was brought up by her uncle. She has only really ever spent time with him, and she for years has been in love with him, like actually in love with him. Now you think at first, oh god, no, this cannot happen in the story. Where it diverts into, Taiga comes into the picture, now questions her feelings for her uncle, and she realizes they're maternal feelings and they're feelings of family. And it wasn't until, you know, Taiga comes along that she realizes this. And she realizes that, you know, she's in love with Taiga. And it's so sweet that initially when she rejected Taiga, saying, I'm not going to go out with you because I don't really know you, you know, he still hangs on to Nao and thinks it's going to be unrequited love. And of course, she just needs a bit of time to figure things out. And it's just such a beautiful moment when they finally begin dating. And oh, I really felt for Taiga. I thought he was gonna be rejected, or Nao was never gonna have the feelings that he wanted her to have for him. And I mean, you know it's gonna go that way. There's a lot of predictable things that do happen. A little bit cliche, I find Honey So Sweet is, in some aspects. Taiga and Nao's awkwardness, that they both are one in the same, is what really pulls you in to their relationship. And they have so many cute moments. Like, the art style for this is so simplistic, but there are some beautiful moments. You know, you got those shoujo blushing faces while, oh my god, well, it's like on a whole other level. Here's a little snippet page for you. Look at that. It's just the way it's done. It is so epically sweet. And honestly, I had to take so many moments just to pause during reading the first 3 volumes. I just gotta take a moment just to, you know, suck it all in, because it is really sweetness, sugary overload of shoujo I have ever read, experienced in my entirety of reading manga so far. And there's this one scene that I love. I believe it was in volume 2, I think it's in this volume 2, where there's this exact scene that happens in the anime Blue Spring Ride between Futaba and Ko. One person's head is upside down, the other is the other way, and that exact scene happens in here, and it's just so cute because it happens differently to what happens in the Blue Spring Ride scene. And that's a really, really good moment, because there's other reasons that that's a good moment, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I also love the side characters, because there's a little group of people that come together, which they have in their class. They're put together for this sports festival. They have to go into groups, and then Nao and Taiga meet Misaki and Yasuhiro. Yasuhiro's a bit like of a loner girl, but she's really nice underneath. And then Misaki is a bit of a pretty boy, but he's kind of like Nagisa from Free. He reminds me of. And I love these two in addition, because, you know, they're like, you know, Nao and Taiga's support through their growing relationship. And I have no idea if them two will be a thing at this point. I don't know. Can't really see it at the moment, but their addition of their characters definitely adds a funness to, instead of, you know, we're focusing on Taiga and Nao's awkwardness the whole time. Breaks up the character chemistry just a little bit. Honey So Sweet reminded me of, along the lines of Blue Spring Ride, Kimi no Todaki, Snow White with the red hair. There's this beautiful innocent flow throughout all of those particular series that I really love, and the demographic that it really appeals to for people who are not into romance heavily. Now, I know I said Honey So Sweet is very overload sugary, like the rainbow lollipop kind of thing, meaning I was going along the lines of, it's still so very, very innocent. And, you know, titles over the years, such as, you know, Blue Spring Rise, Snow White with the Red Hair, they're ones I have recommended to people and friends. They're not overly lovers of romance, anime or manga in general, and they just like something, you know, just got just enough romance, and it's not on the heavy side of ones like, you know, Peach Girl, where there's all the mellow dramatic drama that happens. Also relating, you know, Honey So Sweet to Snow White with the Red Hair, you know, one of the reasons that series is so popular because it doesn't stick to, you think it's going to be about a damsel in distress, you know, it's a fairy tale kind of ending because there's a prince and then just a comma that comes together. You know, that series really surprised a lot of people when I first, you know, started watching it back in 2015. You know, the appeal of Zen and Shiroyuki's relationship is the respect and admiration they both have for one another. It added a whole different dynamic to what we know as for shoujo. And for the characters, you know, Zen wasn't your typical prince and Shiroyuki was not your typical damsel in distress. They were very both strong-willed, hearted people. Because of that respect and admiration dynamic there, it is what really elevated the appeal for people who are not a fan of romance anime in general. I recently recommended this title to my friend and she absolutely loved it. She, you know, she does like romance but nothing too overly melodramatic, and she completely fell in love with Snow White with the Red Hair. I don't believe with titles like Honey So Sweet, I believe they'd be good for, you know, male readers, because I don't believe in shoujo just being for, you know, female readers primarily, even though it is targeted towards that particular, you know, audience for females. You know, I feel that, you know, guys that like, you know, reading some shoujo or romance, because there are many out there. You're all hiding. I just haven't met enough of you yet. I probably know like one or two. But I would, you know, so definitely would suggest to check out Honey So Sweet. You know, there's the really sweetness overload moments. It's in a good way. It's in a good way. And when I came to reading this title, I wasn't in the best mood. I wasn't. And just reading the first volume, it was so uplifting. It is such a uplifting read, and it is one I would definitely come back to if I was feeling like that again. Recommend to y'all, everybody, just pick up the first volume and get sucked into the epic sugary sweetness that this series is. Oh my goodness. The cute moments that exist within these volumes, you guys have no idea. Oh my goodness. That is what I have to say about Honey So Sweet. Let me know down below. Have you checked out Honey So Sweet? Did you think that both of these beautiful people are cinnamon rolls, as people have been saying about Noah and Tiger's relationship? And I can't wait to finish this. I was going to wait to actually finish this and then talk about it, but I just couldn't. The people need to know now. I needed to do this video as well. But yeah, so it's gonna be a good time when I finish this. All the linky links are down below, and I will see you guys for the next video. And also, if you wanna, you know, find out what I'm watching, what I'm reading, best place to follow me on is honestly my Twitter and Instagram. I'm always reacting, gushing about something there, always. Anyway, that is all for now. See you in the next one. Bye bye.